What's going on YouTube? I'm Zachary Kramer with Cool Cars for Sale, bringing you the coolest cars that are for sale on the internet. Today, I actually have an announcement. I sold the E36. That's right, the E36 that I put tens of thousands of dollars into, making it the nicest E36 on the planet, is now gone. My last time. Last ride in the car. I'm gonna miss this thing so much. So, what did I do? Boom! E46 M3. I'm pretty excited about this car. It definitely needs a lot of work, but there are a lot of cool things you need to know about this car. Like, number one, it is a true manual. That's right, it's not the SMG crap. It is an actual manual car. The second thing you need to know about this car is that it is a 5-owner car, me being the 6th owner, but clean Carfax, not a single accident. Every panel lines up as it should. There's not a single drop of paint on this car that was repainted. Like, there's literally no touch-up paint on this car. That's good and bad. It's good for me because I know it's never been in a serious accident. It's bad because there's some scuffs, there's some scratches, there's some rock chips, but they're all original. Nothing on this car has been touched. I don't even think the front bumper has ever been removed. All right, so as I said before, the car is not perfect. Actually, just the other day on Tuesday, I had a bunch of dents removed from the hood here. You really can't see it anymore, but there's still a bit of a scratch here. I mean, I don't really need to go too much into it, but it's definitely not perfect. We're gonna do a paint correction over the summer. We'll see how that turns out. But overall, the car just looks absolutely incredible. I am extremely happy with this purchase. I put a status group exhaust on here, so it sounds pretty nice. Other than that, completely stock airbox. I mean, everything on this car is untouched, unmolested. Let's have a look. So the number one reason why everybody likes this car is because it has BMW's famous S54 engine. It is a dual Vano system outputting 333 horsepower from crank. Yeah, I mean, that's the main reason why I got this car. You know, the E36 only has 248 horsepower, so this is a 50 horsepower jump. Also, the E36, it's not the actual M3, because in Europe, they got a legitimate M3 engine, and in America, as you guys know, the E36 was not an actual M3 engine. It just had a manifold and a little bit of tuning done to it, if that. So this is a proper M car. All right, so I've given you a little bit of information about the car. It's mostly stock. It's not going to stay that way. I'm going to film everything that I do. I've already done a couple of things. I'll give you a look. I didn't really film them, but I did the rear subframe. I did all polyurethane bushings. I did brand new brakes and tires. and I also had to fix a small leak in the rear differential, which was easily fixable when the rear subframe was dropped out of the car to do the subframe reinforcements. All that totaled about $7,000. So I paid $13 for the car, and I put $7 into it. So we're at $20,000 into this thing, which is not bad considering I sold the E36 for $20,000. That's right, I did sell the E36 for $20,000. And I bought this thing. We're gonna take it for a quick spin, see how she does. Alright, so we're going to be driving the car now. I'm going to give you a full review. As I said, the car is completely stock other than the exhaust. So, you know, stock suspension, stock steering. Although the steering rack was replaced, it's still stock. There's actually quite a nice maintenance history with this car. But again, everything is stock. So this is a full true to factory E46 M3, which is very rare. The car only has 105,000 miles. I bought it with 103,000, but I mean, it's only been a month, but I can't keep the miles off of it. I love this thing so much. Oh my God, it's just fun. It's just a fun car. You know, my S5 back in the day had around the same amount of power. It was supercharged, 6-cylinder. Definitely it was a lot faster than this thing, no doubt. A lot smoother than this thing. But this is just so much fun. Oh my God. When you get up high in the rev range, it just sounds fantastic. Let's keep going. Wow. It just goes. It doesn't want to stop. You know, when you hit 4,000, that's when it just takes off like a rocket ship and just fucking goes. It's very nice. There are some similarities to the E36 M3 that I notice, not parts wise but driving wise. The first is how notchy the shifter is. The shifting is extremely notchy. It's not smooth as I suspected when I first was going to look at these. But you know what? I'm used to it. I had the E36 for 3 years, and I don't mind. I did not put a short shift kit on the E36. I'm thinking about it in this car. I do happen to enjoy long throws. I just think it's part of the driving experience. I'm not racing on the track, so I don't really need a short shift kit. But I heard that it's one of the mods you should do to this thing, so maybe I'll do it. The second thing I notice is the suspension. This is a stock suspension, as I said. It's a little bit floaty. It's not the tightest. The steering is a little bit sloppy. But you know what? I heard it could be fixed with the Z3 steering rack, Z4 steering rack. So I might do that upgrade as well. It's a direct drop-in. And as far as suspension goes, I'm thinking of possibly doing KWs. We'll see. I'm not really sure which ones to get. Maybe I'll get the V2s, maybe I'll get the V3s. I don't know if the V3s are worth it. I don't track the car. Maybe just the V2s are enough. We'll see. But yeah, I love this car. It is unbelievable. It took me a long time to fall in love with the E36. I really only got it because it was the only M car I could afford at the time. I mean, I love the styling of it, but my eye was always set on the E46 M3. That was always my dream. now that I have one, I gotta say, I am not let down at all. It really lives up to the name. It truly, truly is an amazing car. I've only driven one other E46 M3 prior to purchasing this one, and it was all the way back in 2011, and it was a SMG car, and it was just, you could feel it was very sloppy. The pump was most likely on its way out. I personally just love manual cars, and let me just say something. There's nothing wrong with the SMG if it works. Obviously, if it doesn't work, that's another story. It is an unbelievable piece of technology to come out of that era of BMW. It really is. It's F1 technology in a road car. Yes, now that technology is extremely outdated. Yes, it burns up clutches like no other thing in the world, but it really was groundbreaking, and there's nothing wrong with liking the SMG. I personally just went with the manual. Let's take this corner here. Oh my God. Oh, we're not done. We're not done. Oh, out of the apex. Oh my God, it sounds amazing. Wow. Wow. This is great. Truly, truly an amazing driver's car. And I'm happy that it's mine. Do I regret selling my E36? I do a little bit, you know. I put a lot of time, energy, and money into that car. It was one of the best high mileage example E36s in the country. I truly believe that. People are letting those cars die because they just are not that valuable. They were going up in value for a little while, but I feel like with the coronavirus and everything like that, they might either stay at where they were or start to come down a little bit. And the thing is, the E46s, they've been going up almost 7-8% in value every year, and they're not even that old. It's not even a classic yet. So just imagine how valuable these cars are going to be in the next 10 years. So I did lose money on the E36, I'm not going to lie. I got extremely lucky and found a buyer that wanted an Estro Blue Coupe on Dove Gray, and he was willing to pay a premium for it, especially with all the work I had done to it. With that said, I lost about $6,000 total on that car. Not bad. 3 years, 15,000 miles total. I drove it. When I sold it, it had 160,000 on it. But I do miss it. There are some things I miss about that car. One of those things being that it feels like an old car. I know a lot of people are like, but it's a piece of junk. It just felt old. The smell of it, the way that it drove, the handling, and I like that. Some people don't like that. I happen to like that. This car feels very modern. I have a 2018 330 X-Drive that I put a JB4 in, and honestly, this car feels very similar. The way it drives, the way it handles, you know, modern BMW technology, the regular road cars are so good that honestly, my 330 is faster than this car with the tune. Without the tune, no, but with the tune, it's definitely faster than this car. I think we might have to test that on camera though for you guys. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Personally, I would say if you have the money, if you have $20,000, what car would you buy with that? As a secondary car, obviously you need a daily. I would say definitely buy one of these. I mean, they're going up in value. So much fun to drive. Unbelievably fun to drive. and they are more reliable than the E36 to a certain degree. There's a lot of plastic and rubber on the E36 that you have to replace. These, not so much. Obviously, you need to watch out for the rod bearings, the vanos, and the subframe, but this car already had all that stuff done. Other than the subframe, I did the subframe, but the vanos and the rod bearings were done by the previous owners. So, yeah, I mean, this thing is just unbelievable. It's just so much fun. So much fun. So, there are a few features in this particular car that the E36 did not have. The first is a working heated seat. My E36 had heated seats, but they didn't work. They actually do work in this car, and they work rather well. The second thing that BMW offered in the E46 that it did not in the E36 was navigation. My car unfortunately does not have that option. I shouldn't say unfortunately, I actually prefer not to have the navigation because it looks extremely outdated, but at least they offered it. Another thing is the rear parking sensors. They have it in the E46 as an option, mine does not, but at least you could have that in the car. They did introduce a CD player, so the E36 definitely did not have a CD player. Once you hit 4,000, that's when the vanos kicks in. Oh my God, beautiful. I love it. Oh yeah, it's the perfect day to drive too. Not many people are on the roads. We are supposed to be in quarantine, but I'm quarantining myself in the car.